Hello everybody, my name is Keisha and it's been a while since I've made a video. So I've been involved with the Trump campaign and I just wanted to take a moment to set some things straight. I've had some people in my DMs, I've had people sending me messages and just being really ugly to me about me being a Trump supporter and, why I do what I do, and so I just wanted to kind of get some things off of my chest. So, I will do a brief backstory just for people who have not seen my other video, whatever. So, a little after the 2016 election, I was having a conversation with a family member talking about Black Lives Matter. And when I went to go dig about unarmed Black men being shot as opposed to Black on Black crime, it led me to statistics that I was not familiar with at all. It was like way more. I mean, the unarmed Black men that have been shot and killed by the police was a small fraction of the number of Black on Black crime and men who had been killed by other Black people. And so it just made me, I didn't understand like why we were making like rioting in the streets and all this kind of stuff when the number was so small as compared to the Black on Black crime. So that led me to just kind of study other things, and just about, the wealth gap and all of these things that have been traditionally thrown, all these statistics that have been thrown in our face time after time. It just really made me wonder like what was the real tea like on this information. And so I found Dr. Thomas Sowell. It literally who is a brilliant economist. Found Walter Williams, another economist, and just got the facts on a lot of these issues. It changed my mind. And so once I started with that, it led me to my spiritual side. I'm like, and I just started praying about things. And God said this to me. He told me that my skin color had become an idol in my life. When God revealed that to me, it really brought a lot of things into perspective. It made me understand that me speaking over my children, like your Blackness is, you have to be, it's basically them being Black was a burden. That was a curse. I was cursing my children because I was putting on a limitation on their mind that did not belong to them. God didn't give that to them. That was me. That was society. And God was showing me, you putting that mindset, you carrying that mindset of yourself and you giving that to your kids, you are speaking curses over their life. Y'all, it made me, when you start to see your life through when you start to see everything through your skin color, as a Christian person, when you start to see everything through your skin color and not through who God sees you, you're going off into something else. You're not it. God told me that if Monday through Saturday, I'm saying, being Black is a burden, and when you go outside, people, just everything, you view everything through your skin color. And then on Sundays, you're like, God, you're able, you can move mountains, you can do anything. If God be for you, who can be against you? All these, if, I made you more than a conqueror, all these things. It is double-mindedness, and a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. And so God was just showing me the contradictory that I was living and that I was passing on to my kids. And so I refused to carry that. And so once I removed that burdensome mindset, it's like my life just, the doors of my life just flew open. I just realized all of my possibilities. I saw God totally different. And it's crazy how removing that stronghold it just opened so many doors. It just made me see everything so different. So I truly believe that as Black people, that mindset of that being Black is somehow a burden, and we just, we can't do anything, especially in America. I mean, it's a lie. It's a lie from the pit of hell. It is a lie. But if you walk in that, your life will reflect what you're walking in. And so, like I said, once I started understanding how God saw me and seeing myself and my children through the eyes of Christ and not through my skin color, it was like a world of difference. You know, I say something, your skin, it cannot think. It doesn't form opinions. It doesn't do anything. It's going in the ground, like your hair, like your nails, like it's going in the ground. You know, it does not determine who you are and where your soul is going. And so I don't care if you are uplifting your skin color or you are saying that your skin color is a burden. Both of those ideas are wrong in the eyes of God. We are supposed to see ourselves how he sees us, not through this carnal flesh of skin color. So that like really blew my mind. So yes, I started looking at things differently. And once I started looking at the spiritual aspect, I started looking at abortion issues. I started looking at same-sex marriage issues. And God was just speaking to me in a way that was so obvious to say, how can you vote for people who are flat out telling you that they are going to be against Christian principles? For instance, Joe Biden has already said, well, before COVID hit, he was like, the first thing I'm going to do is, you know, expand the LGBTQ rights. Okay, look. That is, as a believer, that's not something I support. I mean, if you want, I love you with the love of Christ, who you I have. I mean, I don't care what you do in your personal life. But for me, enhancing certain things and putting people in place who will enhance certain things, that is not for me. That is not, as a Christian, that is not what I'm here to do. Supporting abortion, people who are like, yes, we're going to make sure this thing is like, we can take it to however far we want to take it. That is not, of course, I have had an abortion, so I'm not coming against anybody who has had one, but there is something else to consider. You know, there are other things to consider, and I will not support politicians who think that those policies need to be pushed even further. And so it's almost like, you know, saying like telling your kids, oh, I don't want you to do drugs, but you elect a known drug dealer or somebody who plans on pushing more drugs around your neighborhood to be the neighborhood watch. Like, I'm not like, no, I'm not going to push for more of those things. It goes against a bedrock principle of my values. So why would I vote for that? Doesn't make any sense. Like, I've heard somebody say, well, if you don't want an abortion, don't have one. If you don't believe in same-sex marriage, then don't be in a same-sex relationship. Yeah, that's all fine and good. But I'm also not going to promote people into powerful positions, enhance the enemy's territory with that type of policy. We are called to be salt and light, and we are called to stand up for God's word in everything that we do, in our workplace, how we vote, how we live our lives. You know, we are called to be salt and light in the earth. Obviously, we don't do those things perfectly. None of us are perfect, but we should not, as believers, those are things that we should consider when we are looking at candidates, that we are saying we're going to give you power over a nation, when we're going to give you power over a city. These are territories. We're going to give you power over these territories. And if they're telling you what they plan to do with that power and we vote for them, for me, that is a problem. So for all of you lovely people who are in my DMs and telling me how terrible I am, you know, whatever, I stand firmly from what God has told me. And I find it so funny that people who claim to be Christian will come for me just because I don't want to vote for abortion. Like, what? It is innocent blood. This is one of the things that God says that he will not stand for, the shedding of innocent blood. Okay, so I don't want to vote for that. But I don't under why the malice, why the vitriol, because I don't want to vote for that. It's crazy. It's quite crazy. Especially when we have a president who has stood up for Christian values. He has stood up for Christian values. So you're supporting the guy who has not stood up for Christian values, but you want me to not support the guy who is standing up for Christian values. Make me understand it, because I don't. So, I just wanted to come on and just kind of give a little understanding of where I'm coming from, because, I have had actual grown men. One incident, a grown man lunge at me, a black guy who I'm sure would tell you, oh, I'm for black people and black, whatever. Here I am, black woman. You're lunging at me because I support Trump, calling me all kinds of names that men are supposed to be protectors. So here is this grown man, had to be probably in his 60s, lunging at me, literally lunging at me, calling me all kinds of names because of something he doesn't even know. You don't even know Trump. You don't know Trump. He don't know you. Come on. And you are so beside yourself when you see a name on a shirt. When I'm telling you, something came over this man. This is spiritual. This is a spiritual thing. And I don't know why some people can't see it. I don't know. I am praying for believers to see what is happening in the spirit realm, because how are we supporting the guy who doesn't stand up for the Christian values, hasn't pretty much his whole life, and then the guy who been non-traditional politician, he comes in there, yeah, bull in a china shop, doesn't say everything perfectly, okay, fine, whatever, his personality, whatever, but the policies are very good, but we're like, no, that's okay, we don't want that. So I'm just saying, maybe we should start to look a little bit deeper. Maybe we should start to go beyond the headlines and read some of these articles. Go beyond and read some of the policies, like this Equality Act that Joe Biden is planning, that is trying to push. Kamala Harris supports it, all of them, that they plan on. You know what? You just go read it for yourself. Go read it and see what you actually voted for. Okay, so that's all. I am so grateful. I stand firm. I will not back down. I stand firm in what I was told years ago by God. I will continue to fight because I believe that this is what God has called me to do. And so I really don't care what you say. I don't care what you think. This is where God has me. And wherever God has you, that's where he has you. I'm not coming on and commenting, being in your DMs, trying to, bash you. But this is where God, what he has for me. And so I stand firm on that. I sleep well at night. And so I just want to say that's where I am. So no commentary from any of you who disagree is necessary. But thank you so much for your time, and God bless you.